Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is Vickybest, and today I will be sharing a quick one about cult to influence. Cult to influence in the place of work, in the everyday life. Let's just dive into the video already, okay? So I'm going to be concentrating on culture. Now, what do we mean by culture? Let's simply put it this way, that it's the way we do things around a specific location, which has been developed and learned over time. Culture determines what is acceptable or unacceptable, important or unimportant, right or wrong. It encompasses all learned and shared explicit or assumptions, beliefs, knowledge, norms, values, as well as attitude, behaviors, dressing, language, etc., etc. Like your way of living, the dynamic way of living, is all influenced by culture. Every group or organization has a culture. Define it, or it will define you. If you travel to a new location, they have a culture that works for them. If you travel to Africa, they have a culture that works for them. Even the different places in Africa, the different country in Africa, they have different culture. What works in Nigeria is different from what works in Ghana. What works in Ghana is different from what works in South Africa. All around the globe, the culture differs. So culture is like a soil. It helps or hinders growth depending on its quality. An experienced gardener sets the boundary and removes everything harmful to the growth of the plant. Now, seeds are then planted and encouraged to grow through watering and feeding, healthy fertilizers, along with removing any weed that might choke the seedling as they mature. Now, in the same way, you can actively seek to cultivate the culture of everyone around you in your workplace, eradicating negative values, attitudes, behaviors, sowing positive, godly ones by intentionally watering and feeding, encouraging new growth, and challenging unwanted behaviors. A new culture becomes the new way of doing things around there in that space. I, for one, have had experience when there was a place I was working in back in Cyprus, even here in the US. Like, everyone does things differently. But I think I had enough in Cyprus, and when I came here, I'm like, I'm not going to tolerate all those stuff I tolerated while I was in Cyprus. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. And I was in a workplace, it was so toxic, and I'm like, not again. And they try to put in this thing that makes the workers competitive, not bad, but try to put them against each other. So for me to be the best worker, I really don't have to rapport with you. I really don't have to agree with you. Like, it's dynamic already. We are from different spheres of life. We're from different parts of the world. Hispanic, the Caribbeans, the Jamaica, the Chinese, the Korean, Asian basically, and then we are Africans. And we're trying to work as a team here, but the boss doesn't like it that way. When he sees us together, they feel kind of threatened. They don't like it. They feel we are trying to work against them, and they try to put rules. We try to put rules, set new rules, just set unnecessary rules to attain, and then try to put one worker as a spy against the other. And then this starts bringing conflicts, negative vibes between the worker. Now, not everyone is knowledgeable or mature. But the funny thing is, why some were able to identify the negative part of what these guys were trying to put, the division they were trying to set in armies. Others didn't really care. They were all about they really care about the relationship. I'm here to work and I just get out. But I feel it's really a good thing for us to have a healthy relationship in the place of your work or your office, wherever, because leaving your house and then coming to where you work, it shouldn't just be about money as well. It should be healthy for your mental stability. It should also be healthy for you to grow, for you to just explore, enjoy your day as well. Come on. And it was too much. We tried influencing as much. I try influencing as much as I can, but even though it's just one person you were able to impart with the concept of your influence, with the power of your influence. That right there is a win too. Back to the focus. I heard a great story from a young man who recognized he carried the kingdom authority to shift atmosphere in his office, which up until then had been very unpleasant due to gossip, slander, people not really caring for one another, just like I shared earlier on. He began to look for small ways to introduce honor, respect, healthy environment, just trying to make everyone relational, to be in the same space, to be cordial, to approach each other with respect, helping each other, lending help when it's necessary. Don't have to be really competitive with each other and also be bittered with each other or against each other, creating hatred and all that. So we're just trying to do away with this negative atmosphere generally, and gradually, kindness, demonstrating kindness with those acts, those little acts of his. Gradually, others began to follow his lead, and the culture started to shift for the better. His boss noticed this, and he noticed the difference, and he was pleased and thankful. Now, that's a reasonable boss. The one I worked with, that was a no-no. That was a no-no. Let's be real. The men, the men in that environment where I worked, they were more mature than the ladies, because the strife were actually more between the ladies than the men. I know. But few of us ladies were able to pinpoint the negativity in the situation, and we try not to be part of it. We really try not to be part of it. Sometimes you just need to take a stand for your mental health. You need to take a stand for your emotional health. Like, you take that energy from work, you go home, and then you pass it on to innocent family members that they have no idea how your day went, but because that's the way we wire, you just find a place to outpour those negative energy. And if you're not careful, it's going to cost you relationships that are really important to you. So like I was saying, even though it's just one person, as much as you could see the loophole in the culture and you want to be your best, especially as a child of God, you want to, you are the carrier of his presence. You want to be that best, that light that you've been called to be. You want to influence the darkness, that the darkness cannot comprehend it, because that's why light is there in the first place. You don't have to understand it. The darkness have no idea, understanding what the light is there to be. But please shine your light so bright they will get the lesson later, they will get the message later. But for that one person you were able to influence, and he or she was able to be impacted, come on, that's a win. That's a win. That's a win. So every step you take can change a negative culture, whether it's in your place of work, whether it's in your family, among your friendships, your relationships, social wise. Every act of kindness, every step, every little step you intentionally take to influence that culture, it's a win, especially with the culture of heaven. We're called to love, we're called to be patient, we're called to be kind, we're called to call evil evil. If it's a wrong act, it's a wrong act. We're not called to be perverted. If it's wrong, it's wrong. We tell ourselves the truth, in love. We tell ourselves the truth in love. Those little acts here and there actually goes a long way, and that's the difference. That's the call to influence we've been destined to be here on earth. I'm going to leave you with this. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Arise, shine. They don't need to understand where you're shining to. Just shine. Shine and enjoy shining. Okay? So thank you for coming by, and see you on my next one.